The last poem I want us to look at today is truly a Petrarchan sonnet. It's God's Grandeur on page 485, and it is written in the 8 and 6 rhyme scheme of the Petrarchan sonnet. So I wanted to look at that to see how one really looks. Notice, first of all, that the rhyme scheme is A, B, B, A, B, B, A, and then C, D, C, D, C, D. That is the recommended way to write a Petrarchan sonnet. He says, "The world is charged with the grandeur of God. It will flame out like shining from shook foil. It gathers to a greatness like the ooze of oil crushed. Why do men then now not reck his rod? Generations have trod, and all is seared with trade, bleared, smeared with toil, and wears man's smudge and shares man's smell. The soil is bare now, nor can foot feel, being shod." He wants to know what has happened to the beauty of God's creation of the earth. He said, God's grandeur is like the reflection from a piece of metal that is shaken and sends off rainbow-like reflections of the sun. And he says, it gathers like when you crush something and oil comes out and it oozes and spreads and seems to grow bigger. But he says now in line 6, all is seared with trade, bleared, smeared with toil, and wears man's smudge and shares man's smell. The soil is bare now, nor can foot feel, being shod. He said, man has come along and just pretty much wiped out the greatness of the beauty of God. Parenthetically, sitting around on the 4th of July yesterday when the temperature was over 100, caused it to just a thought to just run through my mind that maybe global warming and maybe climate change is real, and maybe it's something we really ought to be concerned about. But I digress. Anyway, in the sestet, the 6 lines at the bottom, he says, "And for all this, nature is never spent. There lives the dearest freshness deep down things. And though the last lights off the black west went, o morning, at the brown brink, eastward springs, because the Holy Ghost overbent world broods with warm breast and bright wings." So he says, just when it looks like man has really taken the glory out of creation, creation renews itself, and we are reminded that just as the sun sinks in the west and darkness comes, daylight will come from the east and the day will be renewed. Religion and religious thinking is another sub-unit we could easily deal with out of the poetry that is here in our book. But I regret to tell you that our study of poetry now closes, and we will be taking our unit test next week. As I said in the lecture, the unit test is 90% objective questions, true, false, and multiple choice. There may be a few short answer, but the vast majority of the test is objective in nature. So it will be up next week, and we will move on next week to our study of the 3rd type of literature we're going to deal with, that being drama. So I'll see you again next week, And thank you very much.